بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Let's start our program Spirit of Values. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid. In this episode we will go deeply in the value of time, and this is part 3. They found that there are several generations for time. The first generation was they used the checklist. So if you use a checklist, they will help you manage your time. For example, I will do so and so. They use this in industry, in factories. If you follow the checklist, you don't have to just remember, and this will actually invest your time. The second is what we call the calendars, and they start thinking of weekly schedule. I recommend don't use daily schedule. Daily schedule will stress you. If you look at your weekly schedule, you can make some sort of budgeting, allocating time, for example, changing. And one of the most important is the objectives. The third generation start thinking, define your goals, define your objectives. By this, you can manage your time. I recommend to use all 3 models, and then I will mention what is the new generation in time management. Now, the 4th generation is what we call PPC. PPC means the following. Let me just discuss. The 4th generation came with the concept of what we call PPC balancing. The balance here is P is the production, which is the achievement, what you do daily, weekly. But here is what we call PC, production capacity. What do you mean by production capacity? What are the issues that you will help us to produce? Resources, our health. So they said the following. If you invest in your PC, you will achieve your P. So this is what we call principle-centered time management, using the concept of principles. Imagine the following. There is a village man who has a sort of chicken. One day, early morning, the chicken gave a golden egg. Wow. He took the golden egg and sell it and have some sort of money. Next morning, at the same time, another golden egg. Wow, another money. Then he said, well, let me get the whole gold in this chicken, and he just put like this, nothing. What is the production that he has to get? Gold. Production capacity comes from the chicken. If you kill the chicken, you kill the production. What helps you to achieve your health is production capacity. Don't stress yourself. The concept of PPC, balance between your capacity, your health, your resources with the production. Another issue is the concept of how to fill the jar. Let me check. What is the jar? So if I give you the following test. You have a jar here. And this jar was filled with lots of stones. Large stones, smaller, and smallest. And I told you that this jar was filled with all these stones, and we took them out. How can you refill the jar? Would you start from large to smaller to smallest, or from smallest to larger, or you combine? Think. They said, if you start with the small issues, you will never have any space for large. The concept start with big rocks. Then you fill with the smaller, then with the smallest. What is the aim of the example I just mentioned? The jar is your life. The big rocks are the most important issues. Please, don't waste your life by filling it in just small, teeny issues. Most people, when they reached death, they felt sorry for something. And always I ask the following question, hoping that God will lengthen your life But at the end, the only fact is death. And now we are in a funeral of one of our friends. And in this funeral, one of the colleagues give a speech about the achievement of the dead man or the dead woman, one of his or her family, and we just imagine that someday we will be in that position. What do you want your wife, your husband, your kids, your colleagues, your society talk about you? For that time, we should always do. When we leave life, we will face God. And there is the spirit of happiness, hoping to meet all in the heaven. Jannatun arduha as-samawati wal ard. So the idea, I fill your jar exactly with the most important priority in your life, then tiny things will be filled later. Now, let's do also the following analysis. It's the time wasters analysis. If I want really to put priorities, I should also know where do I waste my time. So there are what we call time wasters. Time wasters are divided into issues, two issues. There are things wasting your time by yourself, but there are by others. One of the most important time wasters, procrastination. Well, I will do it tomorrow. No, next week. This is a procrastination, one of the major time wasters. Other issues that socializing for a lot of time. Third, you don't have a clear plan in mind. This is wasting your time. And sometimes people waste your time. Long visits without an objective. Meeting for meeting. So we have to be clear what really waste our times. Define it in two big columns. Wasting by myself, wasting by others. Sometimes the bureaucracy in a certain organization is a wasting of time. So be clear and try now to how I can eliminate time wasters in my life. And in such a case, we have to do the following just estimation, please. Estimate the value of your time. What I recommend, multiply your salary, your monthly salary, by 12. This will give your yearly salary. Divide by 2080. Why 2080? Now, let's think of the following equation. Monthly salary multiply by 12. This will be your yearly budget. Divide by 2080. What is 2080? 2080 is actually the number of hours most people work per week. We have 5 days a week working, 8 hours a day for 365 a year, or this is transferred in what we call 52 weeks, because the year is 52 weeks. If you multiply 5 by 8 by 52, you will get this number. When you calculate this, this will give you your salary per hour. Imagine the number here, it depends on the culture, but it's usually between $2 to more than $20,000. Some people, their hourly rate, $2. And rich people have 20,000 per hour, dollar. Now we have to think. Most people actually, it's around the $10 rate. Most people. You start thinking, what can I achieve this same rate with less time? Or how can I increase my rate per hour? It depends on you. It depends on you. Now technology accelerates everything. We can use, for example, a negotiation for increasing my salary, but also I can delegate some issues and concentrate on the most issues important in my life. By doing this calculation, you will reach for what we call the cost of your hour. For example, if the cost of your hour is $10 per hour, and you waste daily 3 hours phoning, you are losing $30 a day, times 365 in a year, times 20 in a 20 year. You will find you are losing lots of issues because of the time wasters. Please make this calculation. It will help you concentrate more and think of the value of time and how can I actually invest in my time. Now, check yourself on this arrow. Where do you fall? Do you always put first things first? Or sometimes no? Or you never set goals in your life? Please define where are you in this arrow. And I recommend you should be prioritizing everything, learn to say no, and I will discuss with you a very important analytical session, what is called your stress degree, your burnout self-check. Please, with a paper and pen, evaluate yourself on the following questions. Give 1 mark if the question does not apply. Never. Give 2 marks when it rarely applies. 3 if it sometimes applies. 4 if it often applies. And 5 if it is always applied. So we have to think of this and evaluate yourself, please. Take last month, because the questionnaire I'm going to share with you has to be repeated sometimes monthly. Now, the first question. In an ordinary day life, how much after you finish work you think you are losing capacity, losing energy? Give 1 to 5. After a day work, how often, how much you feel that you are losing your energy in a work-life day? This is question number 1. Question number 2. How many times a day you get negative thoughts? Because when you have negative thoughts, you are wasting your time. For example, one of the negative thoughts, you are sitting there and your manager passed by. Oh, I don't know how you become my manager. This is a negative thought. You get to the street and you start driving and someone just cut. Oh God, who teach you how to drive? Another negative thought. If you always feel in a negative environment, you will never achieve. My second question then, how much you think you are facing negative ideas during a day? Third question. How much do you think that you are becoming more harder, less empathetic with your family, with your colleagues at work? And this is because, not of them, because you are under stress. If you feel you are losing empathy towards others, how much do you feel this from 1 to 5? Question number 4. How much do you easily get irritated even by small issues? And this is asking about the anger level. How much you get angry even by small issues? From 1 to 5. Question number 5 now. Do you feel that you are misunderstood or misappreciated by your family, by your colleagues, by your manager, by your employees? How much you feel you are misappreciated, misunderstood by others? Question number 6. How much you feel you don't have people to talk with? And by this, you feel more stress. And I recommend always tell your wife, tell your husband, tell your friends about the levels of stress. This will help you manage. Some people cannot find anyone to discuss with or to talk with. Number 7. Do you feel that your achievement is less than your energy? Some people feel that they have lots of energy but cannot transfer this into achievement. Why? Sometimes bureaucracy of work, sometimes they don't have the full emotional competency for going and achievement. Question number 8. How much you feel yourself under high level of stress to achieve something? Also from 1 to 5. Question number 9. How much you feel that you are not getting what you want from the job you are doing? you are suffering a lot, you talk to yourself, I deserve more salary. How much you are feeling or having such a feeling that you are not getting what you want from your job. Question number 10 is one of the most difficult. Do you feel you are in the wrong organization? How much you have this feeling? 1 to 5. Number 11, how much you become frustrated with works that you are doing. Question number 12, how much you feel that the organizational bureaucracy, even the environment at your home, is preventing you from achieving lots of issues. And question number 13, how much you feel that you don't have time in order to plan and set priorities, and how much you think you are given lots of works that not are your responsibility. So you are doing things with others, and how much you feel that you cannot say no. These 15 questions, sum up the total, please, and then let's discuss the final concept by the following scale. Now, after we did this questionnaire, the questionnaire is what we call burnout degree test. Sum up the total for the 15 questions and let's discuss the result. If you got between 65 to 75, you have a very high level of stress. It's called the suiciding degree. Please stop. Please stop. If you are between 50 and 64, it's called the burnout degree. You are suffering from stress. The positive level is to be between 30 and 49. If your degree 30 to 49, congratulations. You are under a positive stress. You achieve without being stressed. 20 to 29 has 3 meanings. Either you are relaxed in doing your job, or you are a person who can actually motivate himself or herself and going enthusiastically, or you are a leader. But if you are between 15 and 19, sorry to say, you are careless. We have to go through 30 to 49 is the degree of positive stress. Hoping that you understand the concept of time, how to manage your time, how to be relaxed without any stress. In such a case, the value of time you are totally investing. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.